What's up, y'all? It's Carter Sports back with another one. And I'm about to tell y'all why Oregon has been killing USC on the recruiting trail. Now let's check this out. It says, it is an interesting contrast to Oregon's philosophy and program building. Take comments to this SCNG from Pat Biondo, the Ducks football director of recruiting strategy. The biggest thing for us in recruiting is we want to keep the best guys on the West Coast, Biondo said. When their microscopes do align, and they do frequently, coaches and players in Southern California indicate Oregon is often more pushy in pursuing targets. Take St. John Bosco, a school ripe with defensive talent, where Negro says he is in contact with Lanning and defensive coordinator Tosh Lapoy weekly. Wooing you are legally to the Ducks. Remember Mateo? They was aggressively pursuing the kid. So let's get into the reasons why, more into the reasons why they killing USC on the recruiting trail. Far as SC, they talk about it. You really break it up and kind of break it down, but there's no for sure number for everybody. Minor, the several assistant, said in regards to NIL discussions with prospective recruits, Oregon can literally tell you somewhat of what it's going to be, and you know what to expect. You don't fully know what to expect at SC. The future of USC NIL approach, however, will likely hinge on searching for sponsorship deals rather than tossing donor money at recruits. That's what you need to do. You need to toss donor money at these recruits. USC don't do it. Major headway is already being made on that front. Another source told the SCNG that the Conquest Collective, a marketing agency supporting USC athletes, is finalizing a football program-wide deal with a major company that will provide players with a flat payment in percentage of back-end profits. So that's what's been going on at USC. That's why Oregon's been crushing us on recruiting. Why? They more aggressive. Second, they can give you a flat out number on how much money you gonna make going to Oregon. They could give you a flat out number on how much you gonna make going to Oregon. To this point, USC is a mystery. You don't know exactly how much you gonna get. And then on top of that, I know high school recruits. I know them personally. I know high school recruits personally. So if you tell them that we don't know how much money we can get you, and another school tell them, I know exactly how much money I can get you, and you finna what? You want that in a week, 2 weeks? Like when you want it? I done heard players tell me that if you commit to Oregon, verbally commit, you gonna have a check in the mail within a week or two. You gonna get paid within a week or two. USC, you gotta sign a letter of intent. You gotta go to school, and it's still no date. They gonna hook you up with Conquest or, House of Victory or whatever the little programs we got. Then we gonna figure it out. They can't tell you. It's a question mark. You don't know for certain how much you're gonna get or when you gonna get it. If you enroll early in spring, you might get it in the summer. If you enroll in fall, ain't no telling, you might get it sometime during the season or before the season. But Oregon and these other schools, you get the money basically up front, and you gonna know exactly how much you gonna get. And I also heard reports that USC collectives, they had an emergency meeting to talk about this and what's being done with their money. I don't think they fully understand recruiting and understand that Lincoln Riley is only tossing money to players already in college. But they looking at USC, the talent on the field, and they looking at the recruiting class and be like, if I'm spending my money, why our recruiting class is ranked 18th? Well, do your homework. I feel like our donors is casuals. I feel like they root for USC on the surface. Monday through Friday, they living their life. And they watching on Saturday. So I feel like most of these donors, they're not up to date with recruiting. But USC been losing, so you got to evaluate and you look at talent. Then it forced them to, okay, look at these recruiting classes, because where my money going? They like, I ain't paying money for that number 4 safety. That dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, they looking at these players like, okay, where my money going? My money need to go to some talent. Then they looking at the recruiting stand. It's like, hold on, why we only rank 18th in recruiting and I'm spending money? Because Lincoln Riley in the university, the administrators don't want to pay high school players. So just like a father said that I heard, that I seen on Twitter, he said, you got to play ball like these other schools. You got to catch up with the times, or not, you're going to be left behind. That whole, I'm scared of the Reggie Bush sanction still, and I ain't going to recruit high school players with the bag, even though everybody else going to get it, is going to get USC a sorry roster, a mediocre roster, and they're going to be losing. They're going to be losing. So the donors, they don't even know. They can't know. They can't, because why are they having a meeting about where their money going? Because the talent on the field ain't there. Our donors, that's why I got to give down south respect, because they donors, they actually football heads. They know football. They won't have to tell them this. The USC donors should have stopped to nip this in the bud. Like, hold up, you're not giving high school players bags when the other schools is giving them. And Oregon is taking all our talent. Took all the modern day players and St. Bosco players, basically taking all the West Coast talent. And so as a donor, I'm like, hold on, I'm not giving my money to the university to get transfer portal guys like Jack Sullivan. Not saying he ain't good, but I'm spending, if I'm a donor, I'm trying to spend my money on the next superstar, not a player that wasn't happy at another university and trying to come here and play. I'm spending money from a homegrown talent that's gonna be elite. So this made me realize USC is really lost in the sauce. Because if the donors have an emergency meeting, what's the problem? Why? Why? Because you ain't getting the results. Well, you should know why you ain't getting the results. Because the administration won't give high school players the bag. It's simple as that. Tell USC, tell Lincoln Riley, y'all ain't giving up nothing unless they finna get these high school recruits. They're not giving money to have a great transfer portal class. They giving money to have the top ranked recruiting classes year in and year out. So this is why USC, man, is getting crushed by Oregon. This is why USC getting crushed by Oregon on the recruiting trail, man. That's simple. So yeah, man. Every USC fan, y'all just need to scream. We need to scream to the heavens. I see a lot of USC fans on Twitter, YouTube, social media. We shouldn't say nothing but pay high school players or we gon' suck. Throw these high school players the bag or we gon' suck. That's the only thing that USC fans should be saying, period. That's the only thing this university and the administration should hear from the fan base. Pay high school players or we gon' suck, period. And the donors should be saying the same thing. Pay these high school players or we gon' suck, period. Pay these, that's all we should be saying. That's all we should be saying. Alex Grinch gone now. So the only thing is to address is paying these high school players so we can get the talent, period. Pay these players. Pay these high school players or we gonna suck. It's gonna be more crying in the stands, man. So pay these players. Cause then you gonna end up just firing everybody, firing Lincoln Riley too. Because no matter how great Lincoln Riley is, if we ain't got the talent, we ain't gonna do nothing. Then we gonna think Lincoln Riley was a fraud. Pay these players. Get in touch. If USC, you don't want to pay these players, then don't expect nothing on the football field. Don't expect nothing, administrators. So until then, y'all, man, fight on, man.